Well, Bernie was asked yesterday why he's not willing to compromise on his positions, and I just don't think that's the case. This is a guy who's been in Congress, who's been a mayor, who's been in the Senate. He has worked with Republicans. He has gotten things passed. Eric, sure, he has big ideas, but why do we assume that he won't be able to work with Congress worse than, say, Obama, who is also to the left of Hillary?
Well, I think with Sanders, the reason he's saying that right now is it's different when you're on a campaign trail for a national election. If you look like you're willing to compromise, it makes you look weak in the eyes of your voters, so they're more likely to choose another candidate who appears strong. It's sad that that's the way that the current election cycle is, but that's the type of voters that you have to pander to, unfortunately.
Josh, do you really think that congressional Republicans will be more willing to work with Hillary than Bernie, given, regardless of what the actual policies they're debating are?
Well, see, I think that's entirely what's important about it. We know how healthcare fights go in this country, and especially if Bernie Sanders is trying to dismantle, not dismantle Obamacare, but dismantle the health insurance industry, Democrats from states like PA, Indiana, Delaware, on the West Coast will absolutely fight and stop him because, unfortunately, industry is a constituency of, your national elected representation. Everyone talks about, there's a video going around that I've written up a story for Latest.com about where Elizabeth Warren was talking to Hillary Clinton Elizabeth Warren was talking about Hillary Clinton and her support for a bankruptcy bill, and then when she was a senator, she voted, her opposition to a bankruptcy bill, and when she was a senator, she voted for it. And she said that's because she saw Wall Street as a constituency. One could argue, now I understand that it goes much deeper than this, but I'm just saying one could argue that industry is a constituency of representatives. So to bring it back to Bernie, people from PA and other states where health insurance is kind of one of the main industries that their citizens work in will fight tooth and nail to stop single payer from happening. If it's about free college, maybe he might get that. I don't know. It depends on how he would pay for it and what kind of congressional majority it is. But these big sort of issues that Bernie won the issue debate. Hillary is not fighting him on the issues. That's why she's trying to be a progressive. But when she talks about being a progressive who gets things done, as I wrote in an article a couple days ago, she will get things done, but these aren't these big sexy things that sound great on the campaign trail. It'll be things like corporate tax reform or I can't remember the other ones because they're so boring. But my point is that the problem with Bernie Sanders' ideas and getting stuff done, working with Congress and not being willing to compromise. If it's a tactic, it's genius. Like if he's saying I want single payer so he can get a public option and get maybe 8% more coverage and lower some costs, then he is a genius. Okay, says you.
He will, though. Just because that's the way the system is. You can't expect that he'll get the far left-wing stuff. He's just saying that right now so that, as we said before, he'll meet in the middle eventually instead of free education.
I find it.
To go back to the real problem we were talking about with Hillary, it's Bernie. If he compromising from way on the left. Hillary's already compromising from the middle.
That's right. So she has more to lose, whereas Sanders has more to gain, at least for the everyday man. It should be gender neutral.
I think there's two important points here. First is the contradictory way that Hillary was speaking about all this Congress stuff last night. Early in the debate, of course, her whole attitude was, well, we might as well not try because it won't work. Congress will block Bernie. And if you recall, at the very end of the debate where they were talking about what she might do during her very first 90 days in office or something, she was talking all about the things she was going to get Congress to approve for her. So I think there's some issues there. Second, I'd like to hear a more specific list of the things she has accomplished. She's always labeling herself a progressive who gets things done. I'd really like to hear a little bit more specifics on that. She tried as First Lady to get some kind of health care legislation done. That didn't happen. As Secretary of State, I'd like to hear someone list up her actual specific concrete accomplishments as opposed to photo ops and B-roll and hugging it out with Aung Suu Kyi in Burma. As a senator, I don't know that we can point to very many specific things she accomplished. So again, going back to Bernie, I'd sure like to hear him stop that debate at one point and say, can you kind of give us a list of those, please?
Well, with that said,
Oh, yeah, she killed bin Laden. Sorry, I forgot that.
with her bare hands.